Y'all, it's motherfucking Christmas.
You know it.
Hi, viewer, singular. What up? This is Alec and Dave talking about shit, and I'm Dave. I was about to say I'm Alec. I'm Dave.
My name does come first in the title. That is confusing.
It does.
That is confusing. Yeah.
We did
I'm
it
Alec.
alphabetically,
I am Alec.
and we're about to talk about some of our favorite Christmas movies.
Yep.
Because it's that time of year, and why not? That's really why. It's because there's no reason not to.
Yeah. I mean, what else do you have to do right now? Hopefully you're off of work. Hopefully you're at home. You got all your presents already bought, like I definitely do for sure.
I'm not going shopping later today. Of course not.
No, of course not.
It's December 23rd.
It's December 23rd. I don't have a last minute gift that I definitely need to go out and get like right after this. What else do you have to do besides just watch Christmas movies? And I feel like every family has those traditional Christmas movies that they watched, Maybe those are still your favorites. Maybe they're not. Maybe you've grown up, changed, like we all have. But we have Christmas movies that we think are the best. We want to talk about it.
Okay, yeah. So here's where I'm going to throw you the curveball.
Okay, I was warned before we started recording. A curveball was coming. What's the curveball?
I actually didn't make my favorite Christmas because I felt like my favorite Christmas movies were boring.
Okay,
and so instead, I made Christmas movies I don't think a lot of people have seen that I love.
See, okay,
because and here's why. Here's why. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
You did that. Did you do that too?
No. We both just have podcast brain already. Because this is the thing. I made a list, but I tried to include stuff I didn't think a lot of people saw. But also be true, to what I really do love. But I kind of made a list that made the line okay, here's some that are absolute classics. You can't be without them. And here's a couple that maybe you haven't heard of, but I think they're absolute classics. So I tried.
My 1-2, if I were to actually make a list of my favorite, would be Elf and A Muppet Christmas Carol. And I wrote those down, and I was like, that's boring. Everyone has seen those movies, so I just deleted them.
Okay. So
just right off the bat, I just took them out.
Okay, here's the thing that we need to say right now to start this off. My 1 and 2 are Muppets Christmas Carol and Elf on my list. Those are my 1 and 2. So I do think, yes, we need to acknowledge. I think I actually made a list of things that I think we should just sort of acknowledge in terms of the obvious candidates of Christmas movies, and just sort of say these will not be necessarily appearing on our list, but I do think people think of these as classic Christmas movies. They're the obvious candidates. When you're saying we're making the list of the best Christmas movies, if you don't mention these, a lot of people are going to be like, that's not the best Christmas movies. That's not what we're doing.
I'm not going with the best.
We're not.
I have a hot take on what I think. I mean, I'll just share my hot take. It's a Wonderful Life. I think it's a genuinely great movie. I don't think it's a great Christmas movie. This is my opinion.
That's, oh my God, we have so much to argue about already. We're 2 minutes in.
Maybe we should just get to the list.
We're 2 minutes in. I'm already mad about this. Okay. All right. So let me just say this. I want to prep us into this a way here. So I think we got to say there are a lot of different kinds of Christmas movies, right? I've kind of tried to define them a little bit, right? You've got movies that are set entirely at Christmas. You have some movies that are Christmas movies that are not necessarily all Christmas, but they have several scenes set at Christmas at the very least. You have movies that just have Christmas iconography and make you feel cozy and warm in the same way that Christmas does. I think those ones, like, those are your mileage may vary movies, whether you even think they're Christmas movies or not. Like, I feel like a lot of people think the first Harry Potter is like a movie that they watch on Christmas because it has a bunch of scenes that are Christmas and it just makes them feel warm and cozy. Like, to me, that's not a Christmas movie, but if you think that's a Christmas movie, good for you. You know, if that's your tradition, wonderful. Everybody has a tradition, you know? You
go make your list.
Yeah. Go make your list. And then I think there are movies that are explicitly about Christmas, meaning like they're about the origin of Christmas, or like saving Christmas is a plot line, or like a character wants to have the best Christmas ever, you know, something like that. And then lastly, there are movies that have themes or lessons about the meaning of Christmas. And I feel like the best Christmas movies have at least like 2 or 3 of these defining factors, you know? So that's also kind of how I try to approach my list a little bit, you know? So to me, I have It's a Wonderful Life at 5. So let's just start there. We'll go 5 to 1. You don't think this is a great Christmas movie? I think this is set entirely at Christmas.
Yes.
It obviously has Christmas iconography. In fact, it like created Christmas iconography in some ways, you know? And it is, I wouldn't say like explicitly about Christmas necessarily, but it has the themes and lessons about the meaning of Christmas, which is, I think, a lot better than like a lot of movies, which like the theme that it's exploring is like in your darkest hour, aka as the sun is like literally like daylight is at its lowest in the year, the darkest time of year. Even when you think you kind of have nothing, you still have actually all of this. You have all of these wonderful things in your life that make it worth living, and celebrating those is what Christmas is about. Celebrating family, celebrating community, people coming together to help you, you know, when you feel like you're at your lowest. I do feel like there's a reading of like that being very about Christmas that I think is great, and I think that's why it sort of connects with people, right? You know, you have Jimmy Stewart wanting to commit suicide at the beginning, which, granted, maybe a little too dark for a lot of people's Christmas movie, but you know what? I don't mind a dark Christmas movie. And by the end, everyone's celebrating with him, and the town is safe. You know, so I don't know. I feel like it's unimpeachable. I felt like it has to be, especially because a lot of these older Christmas movies don't hold up very well, to be honest, in my opinion. I feel like it's the one that's like an old-timey thing that I still hold on to. It's like, that's a great movie. Do you think?
Here's my only argument. Here's my only point, and you already made it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be depressed for 45 minutes to an hour of my Christmas movie. This is why this is my list. This is not your list.
Yeah.
If you want to make a list and put It's a Wonderful Life on it, I got no beef.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the last. I'm gonna say 20 minutes. Yeah,
I didn't want to leave this podcast with beef.
The last 20 minutes of this movie, very heartwarming. The first hour, super depressing, and it just doesn't feel like Christmas to me. That's how I feel.
Okay. I mean, you know, again, I got no argument with that. This is my list is gonna have more stuff like this that I think it's a little depressing, but I think it really speaks to Christmas, and I think I really like it. So, anyway, what's your number 5?
So have you ever seen White Christmas?
White Christmas is one that I saw a long time ago, and I have not revisited. So I don't remember White Christmas much at all.
So it has very little plot. Mm-hmm. It is really just about the stars doing fun dancing stuff, and a lot of like very Christmas decorations everywhere. I honestly feel like it's, of the classics, I feel like it's the most slept on. in terms of like, and it's like it's never gotten a remake. I don't think it ever will get a remake. It feels very old Hollywood. And if you like old Hollywood, if you like the song and dance, you will like this movie. Um, but that's really what it is. Uh, and it's absolutely delightful. It's everything I want from an old school Christmas movie. It just makes me happy. They have this 30-second plot where maybe this ski resort is going to fail or whatever, and like they fix it with a talent show, and it's just so beautifully old Hollywood stupid. Uh
Is that, I never
and
realized this, but is that what they're playing off of in that John Cusack movie? I think it's called Better Off Dead. The one that's like they gotta have a ski off from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain to save the youth center or whatever. You know, like I'm like, man, are they is it that trope that old? It goes back to White Christmas, the save the ski resort, you know, kind of plot line.
I have no idea, but
I
if
don't
you
know.
want to see
I'm sure it's a different
Bing,
tone.
yeah, it's very lighthearted. If you want to see Bing Crosby and a bunch of other people who I don't know do intricate dance routines and sing, you'll have a great time. You'll have a great hour and a half. And it moves, it's not slow. It jumps right into the like it takes you like 5 minutes to get into the plot and everything. And then it's just like a sing-songy talent show for, an hour and a half. And it's great. It's really fantastic. I think you and Laura would really enjoy it. And it would be very cozy and cute.
For sure. For sure. I will check it out, especially because I do have several Bing Crosby like Christmas albums that I put them on every year. That's like part of my Christmas tradition. So Bing is already a part of my holiday. I'm happy to have more Bing in the holiday. And yeah, it's a classic one that I don't remember as well. I feel like the other classic I did consider here, and I put it in the obvious candidates list, is Miracle on 34th Street, the like 1947 one. In my house, we watched the 1994 one more often when I was growing up. But I think both are pretty delightful films, and I always like a film that has Santa Claus with like as a main character. But that's not on my list.
Yeah.
My number 4 is The Holdovers. I went.
It's on my list.
It's
yes,
on your list.
I love The Holdovers.
Yes, I think this is the best Christmas movie that has come out for I don't know how long, like 20 years maybe. Whenever Elf, I don't know when Elf came out exactly, but like
You're I
yeah,
I don't disagree with you, but I think you're forgetting about one.
I might be
And
forgetting
I'm
about
very excited to bring it up later.
Oh, I think I am forgetting about one. Okay, anyway, doesn't matter. We're talking about The Holdovers. The Holdovers is an
Yes.
incredible Christmas movie. It is set entirely at Christmas. It has the like Christmas iconography that makes you feel cozy and warm, and yet is also like a beautiful drama about like found family and being with people who make your life meaningful and making those connections. And yeah, has wonderful themes and lessons about like the meaning of Christmas. So I think it's got 3 of the like 5 things that maybe define a great Christmas movie. And what can you say? I mean, like Paul Giamatti, it's his best performance in any movie that he's done, and he's an incredible actor.
It's been a while since he's been that good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Dominic Sessa just comes to play, and he is phenomenal in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You really expect a teenager to just get blown away by Paul Giamatti, and he really finds his footing with this character and delivers it. And like this was one of those moments where I was like, I'm Dominic Sessa, like you're on my, like I'll watch whatever you're in. Like let's go.
Yeah, yeah. No, I definitely I've got season passes. And obviously like amazing as both of those actors are, the MVP of the movie is Davine Joy Randolph, and her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, won an Oscar for this, and absolutely deserving of it. She is like, for two characters who are definitely both like curmudgeonly in their own way, she is like the heart and soul of the movie that just keeps pulling them towards like the love that they actually all have for each other. And like I think her performance is incredible, her character is incredible. What a script. It's Alexander Payne's best as well. If you've seen Sideways, I forget other films that he's done at the time, but it's that guy. I think this is his best thing, and yeah, it does just like it feels really beautiful and meaningful, and it makes me feel warm and cozy, and by the end of it, and I think it's there's no doubt in my mind that at least in I believe the 2020s, because I'm thinking I know which one you're talking about. At least in the 2020s, I think it is the best Christmas film. So that's my number 4. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is one of the things that I think everyone has seen it, but I don't think a lot of people think of it as a Christmas movie. I always have. It's Batman Returns.
Okay, I gotta say, as I was making a list of Christmas movies, I made a little section called Christmas Movie Arguments about whether things are actually Christmas movies or not. And Batman Returns did go into the Christmas movie arguments thing, along with like Die Hard and Edward Scissorhands was another one I put in there as just sort of like, it's got that Christmas like dressing, it's like around Christmas. Is it Christmas? I don't know if it's Christmas, But so why is this your...
So I think to me this is as Christmas as like Nightmare Before Christmas, if it just just doesn't have Christmas in its name. It's because like I think Die Hard as strong contender for my list, but
Sure.
also I felt like it was too boring. I did.
Yeah.
So I went. So I zagged.
It's become way too mainstream now.
Yeah.
As a pick for best Christmas movie, it started off as like a funny like, oh, I'm being so cool by saying I love Die Hard, but like it's everybody thinks when you're like best Christmas movies, people are like, oh, I don't know, Die Hard, like immediately. So like, no, we're not talking about Die Hard today. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
It's Danny DeVito's best performance, I think. In the non-comedy category, I think it's pretty safely Danny DeVito's best performance.
And in film, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because It's Always Sunny is probably Danny DeVito's best performance in anything.
It's definitely like his most well-known.
Yeah.
I still think this is better, personally. But like, to each their own.
Mm-hmm.
An amazing Christopher Walken rewatch in this movie. Like he is phenomenal in going for it, and I almost feel like this is the beginning of the Christopher Walken going off the deep end. Christopher Walken, like really going for it. Christopher Walken.
I think the moment that he's talking to Danny DeVito's character about running for office and like all the things he can promise him, and he's like, I could get you anything you want. Poontang? Like the moment he says Poontang on film, I think is the moment that Christopher Walken was like, I can do whatever I want over here. People love me, It's not my best Walken.
But also, like you never forget that this is set around Christmas. Like when I'm watching Die Hard, I am not always like, the only thing that's Christmassy about Die Hard is the Christmas party, and that gets over in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's just escape, right? And it's an escape movie. In Batman Returns, Christmas decorations are like in just about every scene that isn't in the Penguin's lair, right? Like I feel like the Christmassiness of this movie, and like, by the way, can we talk about how Batman Returns is a better movie now because of our political climate than it ever was in 1992? Oh man. Did Tim Burton predict the future? Maybe.
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 Maybe. Penguin feels a little
But
familiar in a couple of different beats there, as does Christopher
yeah.
Walken. Anyway,
Uh,
yeah.
but I do think that in Tim Burton's darkness, there is just Christmassiness everywhere in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that really. And it's not like obviously the plot isn't necessarily about Christmas at all, but I feel like there is Christmassiness everywhere. I do think at the very least the like Penguin's supposed sort of sob story of like being an orphan and wanting to find his family, that does feel Christmassy as a plot line. That's definitely has some Christmas themes to it. And even as you were saying, like the Penguin's Lair doesn't have Christmas decorations, at least it also does have penguins, which feel wintry
It's
and
true. That does
magical.
feel wintry.
So it's not quite Christmas, but it's pretty close. Yeah, I think Tim Burton in the '90s, all of his Christmas movies to me belong in the Christmas argument category. Because I think Edward Scissorhands also has this thing where it's like it begins and ends at Christmas. It's kind of like a movie about why it snows in this town is because like Edward Scissorhands is carving ice sculptures up on the hill and like that makes the snow and like it's kind of about found family and like there's some stuff that kind of works. But like you said, it has the Die Hard thing where like a large amount of the middle of that movie it just looks like a very brightly lit, very sunny suburb and doesn't feel like Christmas at all. So even if the bookends like really feel Christmas, the middle of it kind of doesn't, and it's not enough for me to be like Christmas. I'm going to think of it that way. And I don't know. The Night Before Christmas. Maybe this is ruining it. It's not on my list.
It's not on my list.
I also think it's an obvious candidate to talk about. I think the argument over whether it's more of a Halloween or more of a Christmas movie is one we could have, but I don't really feel like having. I think it's more of a Christmas movie, but I also just think like I don't know, man. I don't really have much to say about it except for I think it's a very good Christmas movie. I don't think it actually makes me like feel warm and fuzzy all the time in the same way a Christmas movie I feel like totally should, and maybe that's more about me at this point in my life. But I just like don't get to Christmas and want to watch it.
Yeah. I watched Nightmare Before Christmas in October. That's when I want to watch that movie. I don't want to watch it in December.
Yeah. I think it's more of a. I will sometimes do this tradition of in November, I will bridge the gap between Halloween and Christmas by being like, that's where spooky Christmas movies live. So sometimes I'll actually watch it in November to be like, I'm leaving Halloween and I'm going to Christmas. And that's a perfect time for a Nightmare Before Christmas and maybe some other like scary holiday kind of movies. Anyway, what are we at? Are we at my number 3?
Go for it.
My number 3. Okay, my number 3 is one I actually just watched recently, and it just immediately became an instant Christmas classic for me. But it is kind of old. It's from like 2003. It is a Japanese animated film called Tokyo Godfathers. Have you seen that?
I have not seen it. I've heard good things, and I've been told to put it on my list.
It is. It's a wonderful movie. I do think like it absolutely has that thing you're talking about, the It's a Wonderful Life thing of like, it's not going to be super happy, through a bit of it. Like you are dealing with 3 main characters who are unhoused. You've got like an older man, a sort of like young teenage kind of runaway, and I think the plot description says a former drag queen. I think nowadays we would maybe just say like a trans woman, but that actually is one part of the film that's very like 2003 is that there are moments where characters are being like pretty homophobic towards this character. But I think it's like supposed to be just like, hey, this was a reflection of culture at the time. But also like that character, the trans woman is like an angel basically, and like the hero of the film. And so it's hard to be like, oh, it politically doesn't, I wish they didn't use the F word sometimes or something, when it's like, this is clearly like, it has a very good heart toward this character. It's not being mean spirited. It's not trying to be like homophobic. It's just representing the world as it was. So they basically, the storyline is that they on Christmas they find a abandoned baby in the trash, and these three unhoused people like go on this journey through Tokyo to try to find its mother, essentially, to like basically like find out from its mother why she abandoned this child. So heavy. It's a heavy plot line, but it has a lot of humor in it. It has that sort of like madcap Christmas adventure thing going on. A lot of warmth for these characters. A lot of beautiful moments about like found family and being with your actual family, and like, even through like turmoil, and just an incredible ending. An amazing, a great last like 20 to 25 minutes that just sort of blew me away. So I think that movie is one I'll probably return to pretty much from now on. When it gets to be around Christmas time, I'll be watching Tokyo Godfathers. Again, not the absolute most lighthearted thing, but I think has all of the things that I personally want in a Christmas movie.
And it is currently, you can stream it free on Tubi. I just looked it up.
Oh yeah, well we it's on Criterion as well. Just so people know, we watched it on Criterion, I believe. Yes, that's correct. I didn't actually pull it up. I realized my wife did, but yes, Criterion. Okay. So yeah, that's my number 3. What's your number 3?
My number 3 was The Holdovers, so I'll jump to my number 2.
Okay.
Which,
gotcha.
Have you seen Klaus?
I have seen Klaus. Ooh, I like this. We're going to argue a little bit. I really do like Klaus. You go first. I have a point I want to make about Klaus. Go.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, first off, star-studded cast. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. So this is a Netflix original movie that I think has been slept on because it went straight to Netflix back in like the late, I think it was like 2018, somewhere around there. But starring Jason Schwartzman, J.K. Simmons, Rashida Jones, the late great Norm Macdonald, and Joan Cusack. Like, oh my God, this cast is amazing. It is just a very heartwarming story about a dumb mailman who gets shipped off to this remote town, meets this magical dude who becomes Santa, and it's phenomenal. It makes me cry. It gets me every time. It has all of the found family that you really want to see from a movie like this. It is a lot about just growing up and and becoming an adult and what that means and finding purpose in your life. Yeah, this movie just gets me. Me and my wife watched it for the first time, I think the year it came out, and we've watched it every year since, and it gets me every single time. I love this movie. The animation is fantastic. The criticism I've heard the most is that like their interpretation of um like indigenous Swedish people is kind of insensitive.
Not what I was going to say.
I don't really get it. Like
I don't understand. I don't have any background knowledge about that. I have not studied the Sami people. I'm sorry. That's not where I'm going to come from.
I don't know anything about them. They seem like very nice people who just speak a different language in the movie and who wear different clothing. And that's it. And I don't feel like that's that insensitive. Maybe I'm missing something.
No, they are depicted as like very wonderful people in comparison to the townspeople of Smearensburg. So yeah, I don't know why you'd really complain about a loving, nice depiction, unless you're like, didn't. I don't know. Maybe we could be missing something. Please don't scream at us in the comments. about the Sami people and Klaus and how insensitive we're being.
Um,
Yeah.
but anyways, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So I made a little list that was actually just like recent stuff I kind of liked. And I will say Klaus was like right at the top of my list, and I actually even almost put Klaus as number 5. I was like, so I really, really do like Klaus. I rewatched it like 2 nights ago to be like, I haven't watched it for a while. I want to remember, like, I remember really loving this. Is it actually worthy to be like in the top 5 for me or not? And I think it's so close for me. I think there are two things. There's one really minor thing, and there's one thing that I think is a little bit of a bigger point for me. But the minor thing is I don't like the modern music cues. And this is just a personal preference thing, but I feel like the setting of it being like old Europe, when all of a sudden the like super like modern pop songs start playing, it just sort of takes me out of it a little bit, and I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not a huge fan of those songs, so I'm just sort of like, okay, you know, I wish there was different music here. That doesn't really matter that much to me. It doesn't like affect my viewing pleasure very much. Um, here's what I would say. I think that movie, if they changed the ending in this exact way, I would say this is an all-time Christmas classic, right? Because I think this movie is an incredible like origin of Christmas story. Like that's the cool part about it. Is you got all of this like, you know, funny scene where they try to get ambushed. The mean townspeople try and ambush them, and they send them off of this cliff on this sled being pulled by reindeer, and a kid sees it, and so now it's like people think that Santa, flies with reindeer because they were actually just like falling and screaming. Like stuff like that is amazing. The explanation of like all these different Christmas traditions is amazing. It's also really warm and heartfelt. The stuff about Klaus, um, the character, and his like backstory about always wanting children and making these toys. Like that shit will make me cry if I think about it too long. Absolutely. I didn't want him to become Magic Santa at the end. That's my only thing. I don't want that.
I disagree. And here's why. There's one reason why.
Yeah.
There's one reason why we needed that.
Okay.
And it is for the line, every Christmas Eve, I get to see my friend. And that shit gets me every time. It gets me every single time.
See, I get that, and I do. I understand it's a tearjerker line, and it like almost got me too. I cried earlier in the film, actually, but I cried when we were kind of finding about like his backstory, and then like almost teared up when he goes off and like dies/becomes Santa Claus. When he like sees the wind and his whatever. It's a great scene. Everybody should watch this film, even though I'm being a little shitty about it right now. But I do think that's great as a line. I think the movie has been like a pretty, like, it has some sort of magical elements, but like I like it more when it's more of a realistic depiction of like what Christmas was at the origin. To me, that's like the fun and the heart of the movie is being like, there was a guy who was just a toy maker, and like we're kind of seeing this in like a real world lens of how like without the magic of Christmas, you could still create Christmas and it can still be magical. And what I want that ending to be is that he does die. And then they say, but an amazing thing happened that next year. Instead of him bringing everyone presents, everyone became Santa Claus. Like everyone brought presents to each other.
Yeah, but you can't. Okay, Netflix can't do that.
Why can't Netflix do that?
Because Netflix can't ruin the idea of Santa Claus for so many young children that are watching this movie for the first time.
But that doesn't. Here's the thing. I think there are people in this world who think that like you need to convince children for a long, long period of time that Santa Claus is real. My personal opinion is that like I think kids figure this out around the time that they're going to watch something like Klaus. And they might not even really even if they're like really young and they're watching it, I think it's going to go over their head, man. But I think it's fine to say to kids, like, Santa Claus is real, but like also like we are all like Santa Claus's helpers. You know? Like, yes.
Okay, but
you know, like we are all the real thing is that we all become Santa Claus, you know? Like, I think that is more the magic of the holiday. It's like everybody becomes the altruistic person that Klaus is basically the whole meaning of Klaus. It's like, even if you are doing something good for a bad reason at first, it actually begets just doing good for good's sake.
But okay,
you know?
Alec?
Yeah.
Think about this. Just think about the backlash that Netflix would have if all of a sudden millions of 6-year-olds are turning to their parents and being like, wait, is Santa dead? Like, they can't do that. They can't do that. And
okay,
that's like
maybe like, you're right.
And you're right. You're right. Right about the time I would expect a kid to watch this movie, I would expect them to be aging out of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
But like, this can't be the reason that millions of kids stop believing in Santa Claus. Like, the amount of hate that Netflix would get and these producers would get if they did that is too much.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work.
I guess I get that. I don't know. I think personally that would be a better movie for me. So I understand everything you're saying, and I get why they wouldn't do it. And I also do think, again, that last line is a tearjerker. You know?
Oh, it's so good.
But we're talking about me and my list. We're not talking about other people's feelings.
Because that's what the Christmas season is all about.
Exactly. Exactly. So for me personally, and my Christmas movie list, I think if it had that ending, I would be like, it's in the top 5. But basically, with the ending it has, I think it's just outside the top 5. You know? I will say the other recent stuff I did kind of like, which is not as good as Klaus, but I thought Happiest Season was good. You know,
that's on my honorable mentions. If we didn't mention it at all, I would have dropped it at the end. Happiest Season is a great dealing with your family kind of movie. Like, I think it's phenomenal.
I really liked Happiest Season. I really enjoyed 8-Bit Christmas on HBO. I thought that was pretty fun. You know,
I was kind of bored by it. I didn't love it.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't watched it for a while, you know, but you know, I'll stand by. I thought it was charming and fun. I like Neil Patrick Harris. The other one I threw in there was Noel, the Anna Kendrick one with Bill Hader. I thought that was surprisingly charming and fun. You know,
I don't think I've seen that one. I think I missed that one.
That's Disney Plus. I think that came out like right around the time of the pandemic, maybe 2019, somewhere in that range. But yeah, it's a fun little Christmas movie. It's got some heart. Anna Kendrick is good as like Santa's daughter, Noelle, and Bill Hader is like supposed to become the new Santa, but he doesn't want to be the new Santa. He just like wants to go live in California and do yoga or something. Like it's pretty fun. It's pretty funny. I won't say any of those are like A+ movies, but they are pretty good. If you're just looking for like something new that came out that you haven't seen those, and you want a little bit of a fun Christmas feeling, like all those do the trick to me. Anyway, we're off track. So that was your number 2, was it? Is that right?
Yes. Okay. So what's your number 2?
Well, my number 2 was Elf. You know, because I went classic for number 2.
We can talk about Elf.
We can talk about. I think really quickly we can talk about 2 and 1 because they would be your 2 and 1 if you were making a like definitive best list, right? So yes. Elf and Muppets Christmas Carol.
So I think well the first thing I want to say is about Muppet Christmas Carol because oh my god, I'm totally blanking on his name.
Michael Caine?
The lead.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine giving a just Oscar deserving performance with a bunch of Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I remember someone saying that like he has said openly, he was like, I treated that. The way that I could do this successfully was to treat this like I was in the Shakespeare theater and let the Muppets be the Muppets, but I am going to treat them like real people in the most serious way I can. And it's perfect. And it's phenomenal. Um, an all-time Christmas banger. There's only one more Sleep Till Christmas.
Mm.
It's fantastic. Um,
The musical numbers.
just
Also.
Oh, the music in that movie is so good. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I just and then Elf. If we were to make a list of just the funniest movies ever made,
mm-hmm.
I think Elf
no.
would be on that list for me. Christmas or no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Elf is just it's all-time peak comedy. Will Ferrell at his best, just on a murderer's run of just amazing comedies. Yes, I'm sure everyone has seen both of these movies. They're great.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal.
Everyone has seen both of these movies. I think I just need to say, like, okay, real quick, there are some other obvious candidates that could be in your all-time Christmas list. There could be A Christmas Story. You could have any of the other versions of A Christmas Carol, including Scrooged, which was one that my family watched a lot when I was growing up. That movie has not aged well. That movie's not aged well. It's just really mean. There's some 80s Bill Murray stuff where you're just like, man, we really thought it was charming that Bill Murray was like a huge asshole, and like it's not as charming as it used to be. I'd actually say the same thing for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I think that one also. It's like Chevy Chase being a huge asshole does not play as well as it used to. He's a different asshole than Bill Murray is, but he's still an asshole. So there's Home Alone. I think some people, if you're a little bit younger than us, maybe you would put in like the Polar Express.
Yeah, that was after our time. We were teenagers.
We were already, jilted teens who were not going to go see the Polar Express in theaters. But I understand, like, it has a Christmas magic for a lot of people. And the other one I throw in there is like an obvious candidate is maybe like Love Actually, but just none of these, all of these, frankly, none of them are like consistently as wholesome and as Christmas focused in every moment of the movie as Elf and Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yeah, definitely.
Like all of them in one way or another get a little aged. Like I think A Christmas Story, as good as it is, does feel a little aged. It's like a little too dark sometimes, for my personal taste. Like Love Actually has real problematic moments, the Polar Express, even if you love it, there's some uncanny valley shit going on there that really creeps people out a lot of the time, Home Alone, a lot has been made with the fact that he basically these robbers should be dead. He's kind of a sociopath. I think all of that's sort of funny, but not real criticism I take seriously of the movie. I think Home Alone is great. It's just a movie that, like, to me, could be more about Christmas. It's like it's not. It doesn't have enough Christmas themes. It's just fun and it happens at Christmas. But to me, Elf and Muppets Christmas Carol are just like unimpeachably like, we're happy. We love Christmas. This has themes about being, what Christmas means, and it just makes you feel incredible. And they're both hilarious. They're perfect films. I think ultimately, like, those two are the unimpeachable Christmas classics in my head. But what is your number one? Are you at your number one?
My number one, and I cannot believe it's not on your list.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one, the only, Anna and the Apocalypse.
Okay, I did want to talk about this movie. I did. I made a little separate section that's called Christmas Horror that you need to watch. So and Anna and the Apocalypse is at the top of the list. I just wasn't sure if we wanted to get into anything horror based in our top 5. But if
I can do whatever I want. I don't care.
That's true. Okay.
And
I'm going to put
I
it in.
I cannot believe it.
I'm going to put it in over. Okay, if we're allowing horror, I'm going to put it in at number 5 over It's a Wonderful Life for me.
This is
at the very least.
This is probably my third favorite Christmas movie after Elf and Muppet Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal. I don't think a lot of people have seen it, so I don't want to spoil it.
No.
But here's my pitch for you to go see it. It is a zombie Christmas musical.
Mm-hmm.
It's the songs are bangers. I listen to that album, that soundtrack all the time.
Yep.
There is a wonderful crew of really unknowns. Ella Hunt, who plays Anna, is absolutely phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't want to spoil anything about this movie, but the actors all incredibly charming. All of them. Most of them teenagers do an amazing, or like young 20s teenagers do an amazing job. Who's the principal? The
Oh, I want to say it's like Mark K, maybe is his name. I don't recognize him from other things.
Paul K.
Paul K.
I know him. He is like the most well-known actor in the bunch. So you might recognize him, but if you like, he was in Game of Thrones. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's the only actor in this I recognize.
Yeah, I mean, you get a bunch of British actors together. Some of them have been in Game of Thrones or Harry Potter for sure.
That's true.
Know? Yeah,
but just if you like zombie movies, you'll love this movie. So just if you like I cannot recommend this enough.
If you like musicals and you can handle horror, you like, you'll love this. Yeah.
If you can handle a couple of jump scares, you will love this movie.
Yeah, it's not.
That's all I want. Yeah,
it's not overly bloody. I will also say for anybody who's thinking about watching it, I think there are like a few moments of gore, but like it's pretty silly. A lot of the time, any of the gore that you see, it's like a zombie dressed as a snowman, getting beheaded or something. Like it's all kind of in Christmas fun for the most part.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I think this movie is. I'm so glad it's your number one. I definitely, it is definitely in my top 5. I think that this movie has like themes that go deeper than Christmas too, as well, which is lovely. I think there are definitely like themes about like family and about connection, and and also just sort of like making your way in the world, things like that. I think are all kind of in there, and you can watch the movie and think about those things, but you can also just have a great time. You can also just leave all that at the door and just be like, this is awesome. I'm either watching zombie killings or they're singing an incredible song. Like I'm having a great time either way. This was what we saw this in theaters together. I think we both own this movie, if I'm not mistaken. And I had the vinyl for this movie for a little bit. Like I was listening to it on vinyl.
I think I should hold on. I gotta look this up right now. Great. I don't know why I don't own it.
It's like a blood splatter clear vinyl. I haven't seen it for a bit. I'm hoping I didn't lose it in the move. But it really is. I listened to these songs, also on repeat. I will say, some of there are a couple of the songs are like Christmas themed for the most part. They're not really Christmas themed songs. They're just like about the characters and the character motivations. So, you want people to be singing specifically about Christmas, White Christmas style. You're not getting that exact type of musical, but you're in for a hell of a ride. Yeah. I mean, I also just like don't want to tell people too much about it, and maybe people will think we're crazy and we're overrating this film. I don't care. I don't care. It's like it does kind of hit every bit of like stuff that I like, and it packages it all up into this neat little package for me under the Christmas tree. Of like, here's horror, here's wonderful musicals, here's comedy, here's even a little bit of romance, uh, you know, in there. Although I won't spoil anything about that. And yeah, that one. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we're talking about that one in our top 5. So, just to recap here, I am going to slot in Anna and the Apocalypse as number 5 over It's a Wonderful Life. Screw it. Screw you, Jimmy Stewart. Here's a zombie Christmas musical instead. So number 5 for me, Anna and the Apocalypse. Number 4, The Holdovers. Number 3, Tokyo Godfathers. Number 2, Elf. Number 1, Muppets Christmas Carol.
And
yeah,
my top 5 are White Christmas, Batman Returns, The Holdovers, Klaus, and Anna and the Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, wonderful list for both of us. I think this is great. Great stuff. Great pod content today. Hopefully,
we did a great job, Alec.
We did a great job, Dane. Hopefully, listener out there, you have at least one new Christmas movie that you can go and watch out of the many things that we notice. I will again reiterate some of the honorable mention stuff that we put in there. Happiest Season, for me at least. 8-Bit Christmas. Dave found it a bit boring, and I think Noel is pretty fun. Did you have any other like honorable mention shout outs you wanted to throw in there?
I wrote down Scrooged, but with the caveat of I haven't seen it in forever. Yes. And then when you started kind of like shitting on it, I was like, maybe let's hold that back.
Yeah, it's just
maybe I would watch that one with fresh eyes.
I would rewatch it. I just think it doesn't hold up as well as I wish it did, because I was going around for years being like, I think Scrooged is my favorite Christmas movie. Like, I love that one. So if I can rewatch it and go, then you might have the same experience.
It's very possible. Very possible.
The only other one that I did want to sort of throw out there as like just an honorable mention. I just don't think it's like it's not enough of a Christmas movie to me, but it does happen on Christmas and it has some Christmas themes. But Sean Baker's Tangerine is also very much worth watching. Especially if you are like a member of the LGBTQ plus community looking for a good Christmas movie, I would recommend that one as well. Tangerine is a wonderful film. But yeah, I think that's it. Merry Christmas, everyone. From Alec and Dave, Talk About Christmas, the podcast.
Thanks for listening, Rowan. Our listener.
Thank you, Rowan, and maybe one of our friends that we sent this to. All right, love you all. Bye.
Bye.